Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Patty, number one. All right, girl. You're number one in here tonight. God bless. And our bucket list has holes. Number two. There we go. Hello, PG and Summer's Army. Much love and prayer, Summer Moon. We love you. Oh, that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Number two, girl. Number two. Let's see. Number three, Brat Brat. Good evening, PG. Much love. God bless. Summer Moon, Utah, Wales. Aw, that is beautiful. To everyone in chat needing prayer and Miss Norway. Hey, girl, we so appreciate it. God bless. And let's see who is number four. Oh, there we are. And Bay is number four. Hello, guys. Hello, hello, hello to you, girl. Good to see everybody in here tonight. Hey, D, how you doing? Riding solo, Australia. How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, that is beautiful, Australia. That's beautiful. Good evening, PG. Much love. Oh, girl, I appreciate that. Much love to all of you. God bless. And let me see. There's Dixon O'Sullivan. Queen, how you doing, sweetie? Crystal, Kathy. Let's get on down the line here, you guys. And I think I'm too. Oh no, there we are. Butterflies are free to fly. Amen. Number 11. I don't know what that means. It means something, right? All right, you guys. Oh, wait a minute. Patty Allen says, "Hey everyone, there's Zelda. How you doing, Zelda? Good to see you, sweetie." She said, "Hey all, much love, much love. I appreciate that. Hey Carla, how you doing, sweetie?" She says, "Hey PG and all. Hey to you, girl." Have PG move around in this chair. I tell you, I've had a long day. I don't know who else has had a long day, but I've had a long day. Um, I hope everybody's day was beautiful. Boy, it was a beautiful day today, right? It was a beautiful day, but it wore me out. It definitely wore me out. Love you, PG. Hey, girl, I love you too. You know it. Um. Anyway, I was talking. I was talking to. Um. I told you guys. I correspond with a lot of people behind the scenes, but like one of the number one people I correspond with is John. He's a real nice guy. Um, he's a retired veteran, um, and he's just he's just a really nice guy, a really good friend. He's older. He's quite older, and he's got a beautiful wife, absolutely adorable wife. Um, and they've been married for like ever and a day, you guys. Anyhow, he's pretty intelligent. I'll tell you that right now. He stays on his feet when it comes to thinking. And he pointed, some good things out. He pointed, some good things out while I was talking with him today. I was going to call him. I guess I'll have to get to him after the live. I decided to come in a little early because I wanted to get out of here a little early tonight. And anyway, I was talking with him, and he was absolutely he was absolutely on the money. Um, you know, on some of the things that you know he called out. Here's one of the things that he called out. Um, Allison said, Allison said that they were going to take Hunter to the doctors on June 15th, 2021. She said, I said, what time was that? And she says, oh, well, it had to be, because most doctors close around 5 around here. So, and I know we were back home before 5. And then Hunter's like, my probation officer was coming to see me. Probation officers don't come to your house. My girlfriend had to go see her probation officer. She had to go to the probation officer's office. I didn't, like I said, once upon a time, PG was in a cesspool. And, so, I mean, I don't think I could ever explain, unless you've been in one of these cesspools, you don't know how much shit you can get into. And I'm talking about how much shit in one day. I'm not talking a week, a month, or a year. Like one day could be, a lot. But my girlfriend had to go to the office to see her probation officer. She's always looking for a way to get there, taking the bus, things like that. But yeah, probation officers, I don't know no probation officers gonna come to your house. I mean, you got to go. They'll come to your house if you don't show up. If you ain't been showing up, they'll come to your house. Or send law enforcement to just go ahead and pick your ass up. But you have to go see them. They don't make house calls. I don't know anybody that really makes house calls anymore except CPS, right? CPS and law enforcement, if they're called on you and oh yeah, and when they serve a warrant on your ass, right? When they serve a warrant on your ass, you got one of them bailiffs or whatever coming out trying to serve the warrant on your ass. But that's about the extent of it there. So I don't understand. That was a good call, John. I know you're listening. And that was one hell of a call right there. Absolutely. So, I don't know what Allison was talking about. I don't know what Hunter's talking about. I mean, I don't think Hunter went to no doctor. I don't think he went to no probation officer. I don't think he had anywhere really to go. I think Hunter was about to go up shit creek, which he did. Remember, which he did a little while later. He had to go and sit in juvie for his own sins, and I believe that sin was over trying to steal a car with a baby in the back. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I heard. And do I believe it? Yes, in my opinion, Hunter's that evil. Absolutely. And this is a boy that wants to be, a gangster. I want to be a gangster. I want to be in the gang. If you ask me, he ain't got enough brains to wipe his tushy, let alone be in a gang, right? You get hurt real bad. You think like him and try to get into gangs, all you're going to do is get messed over, right? You get in the gangs, you have to have some brains. Right? You got to definitely have some brains. Ain't no damn body got your back. Nobody's got your back. You better have your own damn back. Everybody in that gang, they're looking to mess everyone over, including you. Right? You better be smarter than that. A lot smarter than that. Most gangs are always looking for idiots, flunkies. Somebody they can get a laugh from. So, yeah. So there was no probation officer coming or even there that day. That's bullshit. And so that's got me wondering, right? That's got me wondering. Why is Allison lying about that day? I mean, we don't know the truth about anything, right? We don't know the truth about any damn thing. Because, I mean, we know the truth, as in she said doctor, he said probation officer. Probation officers don't visit your home. I mean, that just don't happen, right? That shit don't happen. He was, he was going up the creek. Um, he was already in trouble when all this stuff went down with Summer. He was already in trouble and on his way, you know, to the to some, juvie place at that time. So he was at the swimming hole that day, Karen. Absolutely. It's time stamped. That 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 video came off of her telephone, and it was time stamped for that day. That video was taken on June 15th, 2021 at the swimming hole. Yes, it was. It was definitely taken that day. And so was the video of her on the milk jugs. Both videos corresponded simultaneously, one after the other, on June 15th, 2021. That's solid. That's solid. That's not, speculation or anything. That's Hawkins County, TBI, and the FBI all have that confirmed as solid. No, definitely. And that's why they took Hunter's phone. It's because him and Candace was corresponding that day. They were corresponding together on June 15th, 2021. Now they got something on that phone, something they corresponded about on that phone of Hunter's that, they're not giving it back. That went into what they call evidence. That went into the evidence room, part of Summer's case. Obviously, something's there that they feel they're going to be able to use if and when they get a conviction against Don, Candace, and Grandis. Maybe Hunter. I don't know. Maybe even Hunter. It's his phone. So, maybe something on it that makes him feel that, he possibly was, maybe they know. Maybe they know, way more than we're thinking about Hunter. So I don't know. I mean, his dad even lied, right? His dad even came out, Andrew, and lied, saying, oh, they didn't take his phone because of Summer, in Summer's case. They took his phone because of, something else, other stuff. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Absolutely not. That's, and his dad would know. His dad would know that, they can't do that. They can't do that. If they took his phone for Summer's case, they can't use it for something else. That you can't do that. They would have to, basically, they would basically have to return and reseize, right? And reseize it if it was for something else. And they didn't. And it was Summer's case. They didn't even return it. So it wasn't seized for anything other than Summer's case, is what I'm saying. Obviously, Andrew ain't as smart as he thinks he is, or, he thinks he can pull the wool over people's eyes out here. Obviously, he thinks we're not very smart, right? He's underestimating our intelligence level. Yes, Allison is 150% passed away. I can assure you that Allison is 150% passed away. She is no longer, with us. As don't get me wrong. I liked Allie. You know, I like a lot of people. I like a I like a whole lot of people. Nobody's perfect. Nobody in this world's perfect. I love a lot of people who are imperfect. Um, you know, Allison was just put between a rock and a hard place. It's not Allison. It's the position that people put her in because, she don't know how to pick and choose her friends wisely, right? She doesn't know how. Allison just she just did not know how to pick the right people to socialize with. And and that's really the only mistake she made is she trusted the wrong people. And um and that's not good. She was vulnerable. Allison was very vulnerable. you know she wanted friends, she wanted people to hang with and things to do. And she just got with some of the wrong people. I think she made some wise choices like Leslie and Leslie's family, and you know um and her grand bun, and some of her own family was good for her too. um but there's a whole lot of people in this world that just ain't good for you. And Donnie and Candace and Grandis, they just, those were some really manipulating, suck you in, and screw you over people, right? That's what they do. That's what they've done for years and years and years. I mean, these mother freakers, um, they're, I wouldn't say they're masters of it, but they do that's they're the jack of that trade, right? They've been doing it forever and a day. I mean, Don Wells, he's been doing it since I think that mother freaker came out, manipulating people and trying to pull them in just so he could destroy them later, and he's always done that. So, you know, that's what Don Wells does. And when he met up with Candace, he met his match, right? He met his match. She's just like him. And maybe worse, maybe worse. And they that's how them two sickos bond. They bond by sucking in people and you know chewing them up and spitting them out. Guess what they do? And they've always been doing it. Don was doing it up in Utah, he was doing it in Arkansas, he was doing it over in Tennessee, and I hear he was doing it in a lot of other different places, when he was um trucking across the states with his dad and so forth. So, you know, that's what he does. And, Candace, she's a good hand at it too, right? She was doing it in Wisconsin, Arkansas, and over into Tennessee. And, you know, people like that, these people they're very sinister, very, very sinister human beings. And, they don't have a conscience, they don't have a heart. They're out to just fuck everybody over, you know, in their mind. In their mind, it's either get you or you get them, because that's how evil people think. Nobody's out to get them at all, but they use that as an excuse. They use that as an excuse to screw everybody they've ever met over, right? Because that's what evil people do. Evil humans don't have no friends. Trust me. They don't have no friends. Nobody's their friend. Um, yeah, I heard about P. Diddy, right? P. Diddy. Hmm. I'm gonna tell you something. Um, I'm not shocked at all. I'm not shocked to find out that, that Hollywood's corrupted. I'm not shocked to find out that, there's some real sinister shit going on up there in the, up there with the elites. It don't shock me at all. You know, what I'm trying to say is, um, everyone, everybody on this earth is nothing but a hunk of freaking dust, right? Everybody in this earth is nothing but a hunk of dust. Dust you come from, dust you shall return, right? You're nothing but, big hunk of dirt. And, and wrapped up, right? Wrapped up and some people wrap that big old clump of dirt up with, with more clothing. Some don't wrap it up with hardly any. They got it all hanging out. A lot of it we don't want to see, right? I don't know what the fuck made them think we did, but we don't. Um, it's just nasty. But am I shocked that, Hollywood is, doing a lot of evil stuff? Am I shocked that, that people are being held against their will inside of mansions and inside of, big hotels and all of this stuff, being destroyed, being destroyed by, by a lot of corruption that can afford to, afford to be there and destroy these people that's being held against their will. Human trafficking to me is not when you willfully go out there, you dress it up and you willfully go out there for yourself or some guy you're dating and put your backside on the line, willfully jumping in of cars and willfully getting out of cars. That is not human trafficking to me. To me, that's prostitution, right? That's called prostitution at your own will. You don't have to be selling your ass. You just choose to be doing it. That's your choice. That to me is not, that is not human trafficking. Human trafficking to me is, is what it came out to be at the beginning. And at the beginning, human trafficking, when they talked about human trafficking, they're talking about people kidnapping young women, teenagers, children, and against their will. These are people that don't want to be where they're at, but they get kidnapped and forced to be where they're at and sold off against their will. Now that's human trafficking. And yes, it's very real. It's very, very real. Just like a lot of people, were getting abducted and sold off for their body parts, right? For their body parts. And some people still are. There's a lot of back alley stuff going on in this world today. A lot of back alley things going on. That's why it's very important that you watch your children. It's very important you watch your teenagers, your young adults. It's important to watch your own self because you got a lot of sinister things going on, and a lot of the sinisterness is right here in America, right? It's going on right here under our own noses. Absolutely. So am I shocked that all this stuff went down at P. Diddy's? No. Am I shocked that, Pedo Island, that all that was going on? No, I'm not shocked about that either. But, a lot of them women, that came forth when they were in high school, they were teenagers in high school, they chose to go do what they did. I mean, nobody forced them. Nobody forced them to that mansion. They weren't picked up and took against their will. These teenagers, chose to get in it. Someone asked them if they wanted to, and I bet a lot of them said no. I bet a lot of them teenage girls were asked, and they said, "Hell no, I ain't getting into none of this." But a lot did. There was a few of them that did, right? And now they're crying. Now they're crying like, they were victims. They were violated. No, no. You did what you did by choice, right? That was your choice. Don't tell me you were young. Don't tell me you were stupid. You might be young, but you weren't stupid. You were doing exactly what you wanted to do. And you cry about it later, right? It was all shits and giggles till, somebody shit. And that's just the way it is. When they seen dollar signs and they may be able to get something, get something by crying fucking wolf, they did. They were out for the money. They were out for the money when they chose to do it, and they was out for the money when they chose to act like victims. And somebody should compensate them. It's just, it is what it is. I call it like I see it. I was a teenager too. I made a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. I like to say, hey, I blamed it, I blame it on my parents. I blame it on my family. I blame it on this and I blame it on that. I know. I blame it on my damn self. Right? That's the problem with this world. People don't like to take self-blame. Nobody wants to take self-blame. Nobody, and that's the problem. People don't think they have to because, as parents, your kid gets in trouble, and who do you blame? Do you blame your kid? Do you say, no, this is you chose to do? I'm not going to blame your friend. I'm not going to blame your peers. I'm not going to blame anyone else for what you did because you chose to do it. So the person I'm going to blame is you. No, parents don't do that. You say, oh, it's those bad people they're hanging around with, right? It's not ever your kid. It's your kid kicks a box across the floor and it breaks open and everything goes in different places. You don't blame your kid. You blame that weak box, that chintzy box. They don't make boxes like they used to. If they made that box better, all that stuff wouldn't be all over the floor. What I'm saying is you make too many excuses. And then, if you don't ever make your kids take self-blame when they grow up, they're still not going to take it. When you make it everybody else's fault, when they grow up, they're going to make it everybody else's fault. And one of those somebody's going to be you. One of them somebodies will be you. True, there is a difference. Absolutely, there is a big difference. A big difference. A big difference if you comply and you want to do it. When I was a teenager, I did what I wanted to do, and I didn't do what I didn't want to do. Right? What I'm saying is, yeah, absolutely, I love to party. I love to be in the bright lights. Whoop, whoop, right? Throw your hands in the air like you just don't care. Sure, you want to be doing all the mind dances, and you want, you're all up to do all the new stuff, right? Who don't want to do the Macarena, right? There's a lot of stuff. I mean, you wanted to get that shower and perfumed up and perfumed down and freaking dressing the tins, and you know you was ready to hit the door, that ass shaking from left to right, right? You was ready for them bright lights. That was fun. It was fun running with your girlfriends and all the guys and everything, and it was be everybody thought they was the life of the party, right? Everybody thought they was the life of the party, you know. But I'm gonna tell you, there's a whole lot of parties I said no. I said no, I ain't going there. No, I don't want to go. Why? Because I didn't fucking want to go. I chose to go where I wanted to go, and I chose not to. Nobody was leading me. Now, if somebody was leading me, I'd have been at all those parties, right? I'd have been at all of them. Nobody was leading me, just like no one's leading anyone that chooses to do what they want to do. It ain't my parents' fault. It's my fault. My parents couldn't control me. I was out of control, right? I was worrying the hell up out of them. I was worrying the hell up out of them. I was aging my parents and didn't even know it, right? I was, it wasn't I was stupid, it's that I was selfish. I didn't think about nobody but me, like all teenagers do. The world revolves around them. They don't care about nobody else. They don't think that, they do not believe that what happens to them has any bearing or consequences on no one but them. Because that's how selfish and self-seeking and self-centered teenagers are, right? I happen to be one of them. But I also know how to take self-blame. I knew how to blame no one but myself, right? I was able to understand that I had to go back and get all my education and everything. Why? Because I chose not to get it when I should have. My fault, not my parents, not anyone else's, mine. I chose to hang with that cesspool of people, that dirty crowd of human beings, where you had to walk somebody around damn near every time you were out there, right? You had somebody hanging on you. You didn't know if they're going to make it or they ain't going to make it. You're giving them coffee, you're giving them this, you're giving them that, you're walking them, right? Because they didn't know how to make good choices. And sometimes you were standing in an emergency room with them, watching the doctors not even give a shit. Because why? Because they chose to do things that they shouldn't be doing according to the doctors, right? Illegal substances. You think you go in there on a gurney? You think you fly through the emergency room doors on a gurney and they're going to be treating you with the utmost respect when you're on an illegal substance that you weren't supposed to be doing? Oh, you get treated like trash. You get treated like straight up garbage. And I want to tell you, I know, because I stood there and I seen it. I watched it. I heard it. And that's why I stay the hell away from illegal substances. I was like, oh no, absolutely not. I don't want nothing to do with that stuff. I don't, I don't mess with it. I don't mess with the goody good. I don't mess with any of this stuff. I joke about making some brownies, but trust me, I do not make no goody good brownies. Hell to the no. I'm going to tell you what PG is high on. I'm high on life, you guys. I'm high on life. I'm high on the Holy Spirit of God hanging around me and being with me. Let me be here today talking with you. That's what I'm high on. I'm going to tell you something. It's a damn good feeling knowing that you're going to go to heaven if something happens. It's a damn good feeling to know you ain't out there doing crazy stuff you shouldn't be doing. It's a good feeling to know that you're always in the right and not the wrong. This world's evil enough. It's evil enough without all of us adding to it, right? It's evil enough. That's why we're here right now. We're here right now because this fucking world is evil. This world destroyed a 5-year-old little girl, Summer Moon Utah Wells. This world destroyed a little 18, 19-month-old baby, Quentin Simon. This world has destroyed Sebastian Rogers. This world has destroyed Michael Vaughn. This world and its evilness is why we're here. And these people that do this evilness, they don't want to take self-blame. Leilani Simon, she don't want to take self-blame for her evil fucking actions. And her mommy sat there, right? Her mommy sat there like she shouldn't be taking any blame for her evil actions as well. Her brother sat on the witness stand and, and called out Danny. Right? He took off in 4 days. Well, I have some questions on Danny too. I'm not going to lie. I have some questions on Danny, but you know what? I think Leilani's ass is right where it's supposed to be. I just want to make sure law enforcement gets everybody involved, not somebody, but everybody. Right? What I'm saying is I don't want to see Dom Wells sitting in prison for Summer's case. Right? Because he changed up his vehicle. Oh, we got more solid evidence on him. He changed up the vehicle. He fired his co-worker to blame it on. We know that, we know he had something to do with it. So let's all put him. No. Let's make sure we get them all. Let's get Grandis. Let's get Candace. Let's get Donald. Let's get them all. That's what I'm trying to say. That's my opinion. I'll keep it. But let's get them all. Let's not get fucking somebody. Let's get everybody that is evil and had something to do with what happened to these children. Right? Like I said, I was an out of control teen. I'm sure a lot of you were. Yeah, hell, I was no fucking picnic as a young adult. Trust me, I was no picnic. I might have been a picnic for all the people in a cesspool. Might have been a picnic for them, right? I'm sure I was. I mean, no doubt in my mind. I love to laugh. I love to joke. I love to kid. I don't like to take shit serious. I don't think there's anything really needs to be taken super serious unless, you know, it's something like this out here. This is something serious. When children are being destroyed in our world by evil beings, well, that's something to take serious. When old people are being abused, that's something to take serious. When innocent people are being followed and hurt and destroyed, that's something to take serious. But everyday life, worrying about if my car is fucking dirty or not, that ain't nothing to take serious. Right? Oh, what am I going to eat? What am I going to wear? Where am I going to go? That ain't shit to take serious. There ain't none of that stuff. Oh, somebody don't want to be my friend. I wish they want to be my friend, but they don't want to be my friend. That ain't shit to take serious either. Who gives a damn? Right? Friends like that, you don't need any. Move on. There's a whole lot of things in life I don't take serious. A lot of things. Some things I have to. Like this. But I took self-blame. I took self-blame for all of my actions because it was nobody's choices but my own. And I'm a better person for it. I love taking self-blame because it lets me understand. It lets me understand that, I need to think about the choices I make when I'm making choices. It makes me stop and say, hey, is this a good choice or not? Because the only one that's going to pay the consequences for it is going to be me. And it makes me a better person because I want to make right choices. I don't want to make wrong ones. And it didn't only help, but you have to grow up sometime. You have to get real, right? People say, hey, get real. Yeah, you have to fucking get real. You have to grow up enough. If you can't take care of you and you can't make the right choices, then you shouldn't bring nobody else into this world. Because if you can't make the right choices for yourself, take care of you and make the right choices for yourself, then you sure to hell can't take care of no one else and make no choices for them. Right? It's just the way it is, you guys. It's the way it is. And that is the truth. Absolutely truth. So am I surprised about all the evil that's going on in this world? Hell no. Hell no. It don't shock me. Like I said, I come from a cesspool. I come from a cesspool where I've watched people be unlived. Literally unlived. Pat, pat, they're gone. You can't save them. No matter how fast you get to them, no matter how much you try to do, you can't save them. And you got to sit there and you got to hear them say, pray for me, this and this and this. And they're talking. Man, they're talking. And you're just telling them, calm down, stay calm, praying that ambulance gets there, praying that, And man, I'm going to tell you, and you find out, they didn't make it. And you was there doing all you could, but they're gone. Some is gone before an ambulance ever even shows up. Some you hear, they didn't make it. on the way to the hospital once they got to the hospital. You got a lot of girlfriends. You got a lot of girlfriends selling their soul, right? Selling their soul. They don't need to, they don't have to, but they choose to because they're with some freaking low life bum that don't want to get his lazy ass off the sofa and go to work and take care of his family. And they got her out there doing that dirty stuff so they could get money, to do, more illegal substances and all of these bad things. And the bad thing is they got kids and they think they're good parents and they're pure shit, right? They're pure shit. And then, they're no longer with us, right? They're no longer with us. You watch these beautiful girls. Some of them even look like models, right? 17, 16, 17, 18 years old. Man, they're just beautiful. And you watch them go downhill and look like shit. By the time they're 25, they're either in the graveyard or they look like they should be, right? I couldn't handle all that. I couldn't handle it. I'm just, and that's what got me out. That's what made me run. I was like, oh, hell no. I can't live a life like this. Right? I got tired. I got tired of being the one at a hospital. I got tired of being the one standing over people. I got tired of being the one that didn't run. Right? I got tired. I got tired of being the only clear-headed one trying to tell them to stop, trying to tell them, the way they should live. And they say, I know, PG. I know you love me. I know you care about, you just don't understand. Oh, hell yeah, I do. I understand a lot more than you think I do. And some of them, they weren't that nice. Some of them be like, PG, just stop. Just stop. Okay. It's your life, girl. Just know I love you. That's all I want you to know. Sometimes that's the last time I seen them. Sometimes, next time I seen them or could have seen them, well, they were all made up, ready to go out of this world, right? Soon as they shut the lid, baby, it's over, right? That's how life is. But these people choose their own path, and that's not human trafficking to me. That's making bad fucking choices at your own will. Take self-blame. Take self-blame for your actions. And if you don't care, then don't expect other people to, right? I cared too much. And all I got out of it all was hurt. Right? All I got was hurt. Because you can't help people that don't want help. And that was a hard lesson to learn. But these people who take people against their will and they force them to do things, that's ungodly. Well, that's what law enforcement should be focusing in on. That's what law enforcement needs to stop. But the reason it isn't focused in on, it isn't stopped, is because it yields a shit ton of money, you guys. A lot of money. So they want to mix up prostitution with human trafficking so that it takes the focus off of what the real definition of human trafficking is. And that way you guys don't look at it as being so bad. It's a mask. It's a mask to keep people from going into an uproar about the real fact of what it really is about. And that's innocent people being forced against their will to do dirty things and get destroyed at some point. They get brutalized. They get brutalized is what they get. Until their body can't handle it no more. And they're out of here. That is what real human trafficking is. But I didn't come in here tonight to talk about human trafficking. I came in here tonight. I didn't come in here to talk about P. Diddy either. You know, P. Diddy's ass gonna go to jail. He's gonna get everything he deserves. You know, I'm gonna tell you something. Law enforcement lets things, you know, Hollywood, law enforcement, government, the court systems. It's not that they knew P. Diddy was doing this shit a long time ago. But he had a lot of money. He had tons of money flying in the wind. And he was getting away with it all. But if you take note, when did they bust P. Diddy? They bust P. Diddy's ass when his ass didn't really have a whole lot more to offer. And now they came in and took it all. Right? There you go. He was no longer on top. And when they ain't on top, well, that's when they go down. And take a look. Take a look at old Pedo Island, right? Take a look at that. I mean, that guy was big, right? He was big money at one time. Nobody cared back when his money was flying and he was big. But when his ass, you know, got older and this stuff wasn't, you know, going over like it did once did, well, they went in and done away with him, right? Done away with him. Just saying, you know, let us see the truth. Let us understand the truth. Don't think that there's 1,000 million P. Diddy's out there, right? There's P. Diddy's all over the world. And as long as they're on top and as long as they're, you know, everything's flying and they're making and the bucks off of it, they'll let it go on for a long time. And then they'll get busted too. They'll get busted too, right? It's just the way it is, you guys. You know, and they'll take everything before they end up losing it all. You know, not that they ain't already got enough, but they'll take that too now. That's just how this kind of evil stuff works. There's nothing you can do about it, nothing I can do about it, nothing no one can do about it. But the law enforcement and all the people that are hired to do something about it. And it don't seem like they're doing a whole lot. Right? They're not doing a whole lot. So, you know, it's up to if the C word didn't teach everyone a lesson in this country, I don't know what will. When the C word happened, who in the hell was willing to stand by you? How many people were willing to be there for you? because I seen them all scattering. I seen doors slamming, people hiding, schools getting shut down. I mean, the teachers didn't even want to teach the kids. They're like, oh no. Everybody ran. I seen doctors retiring. They were taking retirement early. They're like, oh, I ain't going to do this. I'm going to tell you something. Something really bad happens, man. You're left out there to hang dry. You're out there on the freaking, you're out there on the clothesline. They done hung your ass up to dry. They ain't nobody there for you. Nobody's going to be there for you. You better be there for yourself. That's all I'm saying. You better be there for you. You're the one that better be there for you. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not kidding. It's up to you to prepare. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. It's up to you to be able to take care of yourself. Don't be dependent on no one else. That's just the way this life is, man. It's freaking dog eat dog. It's like a lot of people, it's a funny thing. They come out of work and they get on the cell phone and they think they're talking to someone on the way to their car, like this cell phone. Like their cell phone is some kind of protection. Man, any freaking law enforcement in the world will tell you that phone is not protection. If someone wants you, they're going to get you. So don't think that talking on your phone is a free ticket to walk a little slower to your car and look around once in a while and feel safe as you're doing it. Because you're not safe. You're not safe. You're better off. If you're smart, you will park close to where you work. If you're smart, you will leave with others to get to your car and watch them get to theirs. If you're smart, you will do things in a smarter fashion. If you're smart, you won't be on that damn phone. You'll be alert and watching your surroundings and get into that car very quickly, right? Use your brain, man. Cell phone don't make you safe. When's the last time you've been able to say pat, pat with the cell phone? Please, let me know. I want one of those. I'm going to tell you something. I had a girlfriend that had to go see her probation officer. Actually, I had a lot of people. I know a lot of people that have probation officers. And not a damn one showed up to a house. Not a damn one. So, I don't know. I ain't never seen it. And John was right. I didn't think about it, you guys, but he was absolutely right. Absolutely right about the probation officer. But I got bigger fish to fry tonight. Than to talk about P. Diddy. I wish I wouldn't even got on P. Diddy because I really don't like people that do what P. Diddy did. I think it's evil. I think it's wrong and it's evil. And I don't think no one should ever go through that type of abuse by nobody, but it sounds like some of those people went there on their own free will, not expecting what they got. And a lot of people went there against their will and got a lot of things done that shouldn't have been done as well. I mean, You know, a lot of stuff goes down, you guys. A lot of stuff goes down in this world. Just always be smart. Always use your brain. That's what God gave it to you for. And please, please, share your wisdom with other people. Share your wisdom with your children and your grandkids and your great grandkids. Educate people. Spend some time educating the people around you. You might think that, you're wasting your breath, but I'm going to tell you, a lot of people talk to me and they thought they were wasting their breath on PG. Little did they know, PG listened. I listened and I applied. I didn't want them to know it, but I applied the things they said to my life and I learned a lot from it. So, even when people act like they're not listening, trust me, they are. They're listening to you. Your breath is not ever wasted. If God put you somewhere to spread a message, to spread some wisdom, you better bet your ass it wasn't wasted. Because God wouldn't have put you there nor the other person together for you to give that wisdom to if it was going to be wasted. So spread the wisdom with others how to stay safe. You'll be glad you did, and so will they. Just saying. But there's a lot that I wanted to talk about tonight, about Allison. I'm going to point out some things before we get started. I'm going to point out some things about Summer's case. You guys know how much we love Summer. You guys know that we're here for Summer. We're always here for Summer. This is her channel. But I wanted to share some stuff with you guys real quick. Kathy the friend. Let's talk about Kathy the friend for a second before we go back to Allison. Kathy the friend. She was letting Candace hide. She was letting, remember law enforcement? Please put a 1 in the chat if you remember law enforcement busting in Domwell's door while he was in jail, and Candace was hiding that ass at one girlfriend's house or another, mostly Kathy's. And if you remember, when Grandis hauled ass, Don's in jail, Candace is off hiding. And law enforcement goes up there and busts the door open, ransacks the place, goes through the safe. If you remember this, put a 1 in the chat. Okay. Absolutely. We all remember it. We all remember that. Now, let me tell you something. Kathy the friend was letting Candace hide shit at her house. She let Candace bring a whole freaking carload. A whole carload. Matter of fact, they ended up selling her that particular vehicle, right? But she had a whole carload of shit up there. And she said, I understand Candace loading up, the vehicle with a bunch of stuff, right? But Kathy the friend says, all this stuff is stuffed in a in a garage or shed up there on her property, right? Put a 2 in the chat if you remember Kathy the friend saying that all of this stuff was piled up in a garage or shed on her property. A bunch of boxes, she said. Do you remember her saying that all of this stuff was, piled up in some shed or garage on her property? That's a lot of shit. If the, you know what I'm saying is that the whole back of the car is full of shit, and a bunch of, you know, in the garage and all of this, you know, or some shed. I think she said a garage was full of this stuff. That's a lot of stuff, right? That's a lot of stuff. Now put a 3. Put a 3 in the chat if you remember her saying that Candace took a lot of the stuff, took a lot of the stuff with her. Remember she said that Candace left some stuff behind, but took a bulk of stuff with her. One of the things she left behind was the box, was Summer's box with the clothes and everything, right? Put a 3 if you remember her saying that, you know, Candace did take a ton of stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Because, you know, this is something I've been thinking about, right? This is the shit that often keeps me awake at night. And that's no lie. It really does. This stuff keeps you awake at night. You're sitting there like, I don't even know why you're thinking about it, but you are. I'm going to tell you something. Don Wells mentioned out of his own mouth that he supposedly sold some kind of videotape of his own boss doing some horrible acts with his child, right? Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. If you know this is Don Wells' words, not PG's, put a 1 in the chat. If you heard yourself from the lab, Don Wells talking to the lab, Josh, that he had sold a videotape for $5,000. Yes, $5,000 of his boss doing sinister stuff to his own 5-year-old daughter. Okay. We cleared that up. Now, law enforcement was all over the Wells house from day one of Summer coming up missing. They were all over the Wells house with the Wells consent, right? The Wells consent to be all over the house. Now they come back when they got Don in jail, right? Now, put a 2 in the chat if you remember. If you remember law enforcement, if you remember hearing that law enforcement went into Don's cell and talked to him and told him they could call him, that Don Wells could call him any hour of the day and night if he wanted to talk about Summer's case. Put a 1 in the chat if you heard that. Absolutely, we heard that, didn't we? They said, yeah. They said, anytime you want to talk, Mr. Wells, day, night, whatever, you just bring your, you just let the bailiffs and them know, let the guard know, and we're going to get our ass out of bed and we're going to get dressed up and we're coming right down here. Matter of fact, we'll just throw on our house shoes and robe. We'll be here in our PJs, Mr. Wells, if you want to talk. Right? Oh, yes, it was his words, not mine. That was his words, not mine. PG don't say that shit. Don Wells did. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Don Wells knew, right? Law enforcement has been in there. They're talking to him. Don Wells knew that they were up to something. So what does Don do? He notifies Can. What does Can do? She gets the shit the hell out of there, right? She goes hide everything at Kathy's house. She goes hide everything where she is, where she's staying, so she can keep an eye on it. Now I'm going to tell you something. Can done emptied that safe out. And maybe the reason Can forgot about the box of Summer's stuff she had hidden away, all of Summer's things, maybe the reason that Can forgot about that is because there was something much more important to be thinking about, right? Something way more important that they had hidden from law enforcement that Can needed to pack up and get back to 110 Ben Hill Road, right? Now, put a 3 in the chat if you remember hearing about Don and Candace burning a whole lot of stuff up there on 110. Matter of fact, Grandis and Candace started burning stuff like a day or two before Don even got out of jail. And when Don got out of jail, they were out there at had like a big bonfire going, and it was burning a whole lot of other stuff, right? Remember that? Yeah. They were up there burning a ton of stuff after Don got out of jail. How do we know this? We know this because we have people who go past there and people who see this stuff. You know, they see what's going on up there. Absolutely. So we knew all about all of that. And it came from very reliable sources, right? People that ain't going to lie. They got no reason to lie. We got it from very reliable sources that they are up there, you know, like that must have been a lot. They wouldn't have that much shit in their house, right? They don't got that much shit to be burning, if you ask me. But yet they have a bonfire for 4 or 5 days straight in a row. A couple of days before Don gets out, and even 3 or 4 days after he comes out. It's still going. It's still going up there. All kinds of things being destroyed. What are all of those things? What are all the things they're destroying? That's a question. That's a very good question. Now I'm going to tell you, law enforcement was up there from day one, able to search everything. And they had blessings to do so. All, you know, take what you want, search all you want, no problem. Now here's my thing. Why would law enforcement come back, bust the door open when they think no one's there, and do a thorough search when no one's there? Why would they do that? Why would they, you know, crack open this place and go through everything when the Wells weren't there? I don't think that had nothing to do with Summer. I really do not believe that had one thing to do with Summer. I think that had to do with something else, something more sinister, if you ask me. I mean, what I'm saying is, I don't think they were looking for anything, you know, for Summer's case. Because they had a lot, you know, they had more time than they needed, right? They had way more time than they needed to collect everything they needed to collect for Summer's case. When they came back and busted that door open, I don't think it had anything to do with Summer's case. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, you know, what I'm saying is, it may have had to do with Summer, but not her case. It may have had to do with Summer, like, you know, the video of the boss, but not Summer's case, right? And maybe that's why Don Wells brought the video with the boss up. Maybe he brought it up because he wanted to, you know, on Josh's, because he knows Chris McDonald is close with the lab. He knows that Chris is also close with law enforcement, and he knows that what he says will get back. So was he sending law enforcement a message that you guys thought you were going to get something? And you didn't? And you didn't? Is that it? Was it the ha ha ha? You didn't get it? Because that's exactly the games Don Wells plays, right? That's the game he plays. Absolutely. Exactly. And all of the stuff was hiding at Kathy's with Candace. And we failed to realize there had to be something way more important. I mean, that damn box was important, right? That box was super important. That box could have, could have been, it could have been what allowed Summer's case to be solved. That box could have had something that allowed her case to be solved. But Kathy didn't turn it over to law enforcement, did she? Or maybe law enforcement just didn't want it. I think they wanted it. Kathy just didn't give it. She was a very trusted friend to Candace, right? Very trusted. She's going to protect. She just brought it out to get Candace back. That's what she did. But she still didn't. She lied. She didn't turn it over to law enforcement. Now I called Hawkins County and I asked them, did Kathy ever offer to turn the box? No. I called TBI. No. Not that they knew of. Absolutely not. Nobody, she did not reach out and try to give the box to no one. To my understanding. The people I talked to, they were like, no. Now, Kathy, the friend, lied. But we should have understood that how important that box was. And if Candace forgot that box, then there must have been something way more important than the box. I mean, the box could have possibly got him put in prison, right? It could have possibly got him put in prison if there was, if there was any type of, cadabra odor to any of the clothing or, body fluids that would have allowed law enforcement to understand, this child wasn't alive. But Kathy didn't care. She didn't turn the box over to, get it analyzed through forensics to see if, if there was anything that could possibly help Summer in her case. She didn't do that. She hid this stuff. And like I said, there must have been something way more important that Candace needed to get the hell out of there than that box. So that must have been something pretty damn important, right? That must have been something pretty damn important. That's all I got to say. So this is letting us understand a lot more. We're starting to learn a lot more about Summer's case, right? We're able to put this puzzle together a lot better now to get the answers as to why did Summer need to be destroyed? Why did she need to be unlived? Right? Why? Now we're starting to understand, more about why she possibly needed to be unlived. Obviously, there was some evidence that law enforcement was, it was some evidence law enforcement was looking for, but I don't think it was going to be evidence like, I think it was going to be evidence, all right, evidence that got it disposed of, right? Wasn't for anyone's eyes to see. Um, I think some shady stuff really was going on in Summer's case. Some real shady stuff. I think they was looking for some evidence, all right. Um, yeah. I think she should too. I think she should too, Nicole. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think she should have. I agree with you. I agree with you. And I'm going to tell you, there's some shitty stuff. There's some real shitty stuff going on where Fred's concerned too, right? Some real shady and shitty stuff going on with Fred Hill. But you know what? I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that for another night. I'm going to save that for another night because it's going to be, you know, it's going to be coming out. It's going to be coming out. Trust me. There's some stuff, you know, some stuff I've gotten, gotten through the grapevine here lately on Fred Hill. And that's coming out. That's coming out. But I'm going to tell you, I got something even bigger for you guys tonight. I got something even bigger for you tonight that I want you to listen to. Because you know what? I don't know how we missed it. I don't know how we missed it, you guys. Listen to this.
I'll crawl in a nice big comfy bed and hug my nice comfy pillow.
Amen. Amen. There you go.
I got my window open, so if it decides to storm during the night, that breeze can come in and hit me.
Absolutely. I heard that. I absolutely heard that. God bless you. You must live in a pretty safe area to keep your window open at night.
My room was upstairs.
Yeah. I tell you, yeah, that's to your advantage. I like to see somebody try that one, right? You knock them off into the yard. That would be hilarious.
Try to come through my window and see what happens. You gonna meet my dogs. My dogs are very, very overprotective.
That cracked me up. Oh man, I remember, you know, when you could keep a fan in the window or not on the first floor, but on the second floor, you could keep a fan in the window or something, you know, during the summertime and you know, during my generation, you know, you could keep one door open if you were sitting where you could look at it. But pretty much the doors have been shut. But I know that, you know, like my mother and my grandmother, you know, they spoke of a time when all the windows could be opened, the doors thrown back, and you know, I guess it was a whole different world than we live in, right?
Yep, I remember growing up, like the one house my grandmother had. We used to sleep with our back door open. The screen door was locked, but the back door was open, the windows were open, and no one bothered you. Nowadays, I don't even like my door. I don't even like my doors and windows being open downstairs, even during the day, because you never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely, that's what I'm talking about. Absolutely, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, that's what happened in that one case that we had talked about. The Gerner case, a boy that hung around with one of the sons to the woman actually got in and took the little boy away and, you know, and murdered him. And he was coming back to get the second one. It's just luck. Yeah, it's just luck he didn't get the other little boy, but he came back to get him. The other, yeah, absolutely. Wasn't that horrible?
Yep.
And the minute the real dad left, that woman should have called. She should have reported the that he abandoned the children. She should have reported that. How she got away with keeping those boys without reporting the dad, the biological dad ran away, I don't know. Because the biological mom was looking for them boys and had been looking for them for a long time, and this woman has them that had no business with them in her custody at all.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
I had to put cameras outside my house and inside my house because one day my son went to Bible study. I was at work. My grandmother was in the kitchen doing the dishes. Someone had snuck through my son's bedroom window, stole his Xbox and everything.
Oh, wow.
And he came home and he called me up. He's like, "Mom, where's my Xbox?" I'm like, "What do you mean, where's your Xbox? I'm here at work. Like, what are you talking about, kid?" And he went out to the kitchen and goes, "Grandma, where's my Xbox? Did you take it for me being naughty earlier?" Grandma's like, "No, your Xbox is right where you had it." They went in and there was no Xbox.
Wow. I bet the grandmother was like, "Whoa, I was in the house. What if this person wouldn't have been just looking for an Xbox, right?"
Yep, and you know what? Ever since then, my doors are locked. My downstairs windows are shut. I don't care how hot it is. I don't care. And I had cameras in my house. I went out and bought wireless cameras and put them all through my house.
Amen. Amen. Absolutely. What? What did she just say? What did she just say? She said that Hunter's Xbox got stolen, right? Why didn't we catch this? Hunter's Xbox got stolen before Summer ever came up missing. His Xbox someone came in the house while Grandbun was in the kitchen washing dishes, right? And they took Hunter's Xbox and went out the door with it. And Hunter gets home. He can't find the Xbox. He asked Grandma. She said, "I ain't seen it." He calls Mom. "Where's my Xbox?" She says, "What? I'm at work, kid. What are you talking about?" "Well, his Xbox is gone." She said, when his Xbox got gone, she immediately gets cameras all throughout the house, right? She gets cameras all throughout the house. Now, why wasn't where's those cameras? Why wasn't those cameras given to law enforcement? Why wasn't those cameras? Because June the 15th, 2021, right? June the 15th, she would have had them. She would have had them in all over the house. Candace and Summer came into that house that morning, right? They came into that house, and maybe in that house that evening, right? At 2:30. When they came back from all their running around to Hunter's house, they may have even came in then. So where's these cameras? Why wasn't these cameras given to law enforcement? Now, Allison mentioned Hunter's Xbox being stolen before on another channel, but she didn't mention any cameras. She did not mention no cameras. Now she slipped up. Right? On our channel, she slipped up about these cameras. And she knew it. Where was those cameras? What happened to the footage of those cameras? Now, could Hunter's phone, I don't know if his phone had access to these cameras or not. But could his phone be holding some footage of Candace and Summer coming in that morning, and then maybe them packing Summer in the house that evening, right? After around 2:30. And then watching her be packed back out, but they couldn't tell if she was asleep or if she was you know, passed away? Could they have that? Could those cameras, could his phone be holding that kind of footage? Because, you know, you do open your phone up to see the inside the house through the cameras. And that footage stays on your phone, right? That footage stays there. Now, could they possibly have something like that? If his phone, I don't know if just Allison's phone was hooked up to see, or if Hunter's phone may have been, because, you know, I have video, and I have it, I have it on more than one phone. More than one phone, you know, is able to see. Because sometimes I forget my phone. Sometimes I don't ain't got my phone with me. I leave it at the house. So, one of my other kids, their phone can see too. One of my older ones. And I'm able to say, hey, if I hear, the signal go off, I say, hey, give me that phone. I got to, my phone ain't here. I got to see what's going on in yours. So I'm able to open it up and, take a look. So did Hunter's phone have something like that? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Allison would allow him to have access to the camera system on his phone or not. Right? But she supposedly had cameras. Now, how do we know she had these before Summer went missing? Well, I'll tell you how we know. She's going to go on and she's going to talk a little more. I'm
So
going
is
to
it,
tell
but
you.
why do you have a camera in your son's room? Because it's for his safety.
Absolutely. And and when you're at work, you can open those cameras up and see
Yep.
everything going on in your home. And
My phone
you
was
have a
always
right to know that. You have a right to know everything that's going on in your home. And why is there a camera in your son's room? Because you want to make sure he ain't got some girl in there, right?
or someone
Yeah,
trying to kidnap him or something,
yeah, true too. Yeah, absolutely. Because you had that problem once already, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, absolutely. I see why you got them. Absolutely. Oh wow. Yeah, I had forgot about um him almost getting gone. So thank God he wasn't the type to leave though. I mean, he didn't know those people at all. And
Nope.
you know,
And see
um
where everyone went wrong is that they didn't know that our phones were connected to his Xbox either. Like my son was on his Xbox app on his phone, and by the time I realized what was going on, I had already had him removed to a safe location.
now see, this is what she got the cameras because his first Xbox got stolen. Somebody came in the house, stole his Xbox, left with Granny in the kitchen doing dishes. Now she tells us. Now she's telling us that his new Xbox they got. She hooks her phone up to it, right? They connect their phones to it in order to know where it's at if someone takes it, right? If something happens, they're going to know where it's at because their phones are connected. There you go. Now, here's what she says. She says this is how she understood that Andrew was sending these bikers to get Hunter, because between the cameras and her phone being connected to, what he's doing through that gaming system, she's able, whatever he's doing, she's able to see it all. And that's how she knew that these bikers were coming down, right? Coming down to try to pick him up. He didn't tell her. He did not tell mom that dad's having some bikers come try to get me. No, he didn't. She freaking set everything up so she could keep a big eye on everything going down because of that Xbox disappearing. Right? And it sounds to me like she might have thought that old Hunter took that Xbox off himself. Right? That he was the one that may have came in, or one of, or True, one of her own. She felt one of her own came in there and, and went back out. That it wasn't a stranger at all. She wanted to keep an eye on her own, and that's what she was doing. And that's how she knew. How she knew that these bikers were supposed to be coming down, and that's how she got herself back home and got Hunter out of there before these people started showing up, right? She knew they were coming. Right? There you go. There you go. That allows us, all of this stuff went down like within the first week of Summer coming up missing. All of this stuff was going down within the first week of Summer coming up missing. The first week of her coming up missing, that big reward fund being gotten up for her, and somebody immediately put in $10,000, right? Some man put up $10,000 right away for Summer's reward fund. And Andrew, heard about it ASAP. And he already, he thought he was going to get the truth out of Hunter and collect this reward fund. So he already, made some phone calls and was, trying to get people down there to pick Hunter up, to bring him to him so he could interrogate Hunter himself, and try to crack Summer's case. This is all going down within the first week of Summer coming up missing, right? And I don't think law enforcement had took Hunter's phone that fast. I don't think they took his phone that fast. They came and they, and questioned him and everything. And I think they came back to Allison's house. They came back to Allison's house, and because they have to get an order to be able to take his phone away. They can't just take it without they have to get permission to take this kid's phone. And they had, that takes time. That has to go through some channels to get that permission to take the phone. So what happened is they came back and took his phone. They came back and took his phone, obviously after, after the first time they came and talked with him. They then seized the phone. What they did is they seized the phone from him. And wasn't handing it back. They wasn't handing it back. But all of this stuff went down like the first week. So the cameras had to been there before Summer ever came up missing. That's the whole point in all of this. That's the whole entire point in it all. I don't personally care when law enforcement took his phone. What I care about, because he had another phone. He had Grandpa's phone. So I know he had a phone. What I care about is the fact there's cameras, and they wasn't given to law enforcement. They must have been undone and hidden away. Those cameras must have been hid, because nobody gave that up to law enforcement. And when Chris was there, nobody offered that information up to Chris either. Chris did not, Allison didn't share that with Chris. So that tells me that Allison had cameras, and that tells me that June 15, 2021, she put all that shit somewhere, hid it. She got that stuff the hell out of her house. and probably deleted the apps on her phone to the cameras. And she didn't tell no one about them cameras. She just happened to make a slip on our channel, and I don't know why we didn't catch it. I do not know. I do not know why we didn't. I mean, I usually catch everything. I do not understand why I did not catch that. But why would she get rid of the cameras? Why would she hide them? Why would she hide the cameras? Because she wouldn't have cared if law enforcement seen Summer and Candace coming in that morning, walking around, and then leave them with hunters. She wouldn't have cared about that. Look at it, see it. You know, the child's okay. When they left, you know, if she hid those cameras, then that is even more proof. That is even more proof that they carried Summer into her house. It's even more proof that that's where Summer was dressed in that school outfit. That is even more proof of she was dressed in that house and then propped on those milk jugs and boxes. That is even more proof that the video was nothing but pure stagery. That's even more proof that Summer was not with us on those milk jugs. In my opinion, that's exactly what it is. I agree, Carrie. I agree, hon. Yeah, that's it. That's it, second to none. Exactly, Nicole's. Exactly. You heard it out, you know, you heard it out of her own mouth. You heard it out of her own mouth that they got cameras, right? They got cameras. Yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I allowed her to put up her Cash App to get him a new phone. Yes, I did. Because his phone got taken by law enforcement. It got seized. It got put into evidence. And he was using his grandfather's. His grandfather had passed away, and it was a super old, like off the arc phone. And one he was getting made fun of packing around, but he was forced to pack it because they couldn't afford anything else. And yes, I did. Don, Candace, and Grandis, and the oldest boy all got brand new, state of the art phones because people donated. People gave tons of money to Cash App and tons of money in gift cards and all kinds of things to Candace and Don and you know their family. They were giving tons of money to this family, bunch of well supporters, tons of money. And they went out buying $300-$400 Ray-Ban glasses, no billboards, no flyers, no money towards the reward fund. They was out spending it on $300-$400 glasses, boozing it up, tons of freaking illegal substances, right? Paying off their vehicles, eating at fancy places now because they can afford it, right? They were getting state-of-the-art cell phones, real nice ones, while this kid gets his took that he worked hard to get, and they got it taken away from him. And he gets to carry grandpa's phone from the ark and be made fun of. And yes, I did. I let her put her cash up to get the boy a new phone. You bet your ass I did. And I would have done it again. Because if you ask me, you know, do I believe that Candace had Hunter destroy Summer that day in that swimming hole? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Do I believe that something went wrong in Summer and Candace Donald and Grandis and them felt that Summer had to be destroyed because of it, because they would end up in prison? Yes, I do. That's my opinion. Do I believe that they initiated Hunter to do it? Oh, yes, I do. Do I believe he did it? Yes, I do. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Do I think that she was dressed and propped on those milk jugs from Allison's house? Yes, I do. That's my opinion. Do I think the cameras were hidden because of all of this? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. That's my opinion. Molly, you are hilarious. You are absolutely hilarious. Molly is Molly is definitely Molly's a trip, right? She's a freaking trip. I love Molly. I love Molly. She cracks me up. You're hiding it in her belly button. That's mean. That's mean. Um, funny, but mean. Anyway, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know how we missed the camera thing. I don't know. I think she told us, I think she had told us really, really late at the end of, I think we did like a 5 or 6 hour live. And I think that was at the end of it. That was because she said, I'm going to get my pillow. You know, I'm going to get my pillow and go to bed. I think that was at the end. And I think we were all tired. And like I said, this particular video somehow had gotten lost. It got lost in the shuffle because there was like only 100 people. Only 100 people had seen this. And, you know, I don't know how or why it got lost the way it did. And I only found it because I was looking for something else. I was looking for a little clip of something else when I found it. So, you know, like I said, God works in mysterious ways, you guys. Things are not going to come out until God wants them to. It's just the way it works. I got to have faith. I got to keep faith. If it's supposed to came out before, it would have. It didn't. It's out here now. It's out here now. That's all that matters. We're keeping on, we're keeping on Summer's case, and we're keeping it moving forward, and there's more things coming out all the time. More things. Hindsight's always better than foresight. That's all I can say. And it's out here now, and hopefully, I mean, I know one thing. I know one thing about the world of, electronics. It's nothing is forever lost. Nothing is forever lost. What I'm saying is, the IP, they can go back. Law enforcement can go back, and they can check the certain date they want something. Say, like, for instance, I've had a few different computers, right? I've had a few different computers at the home I live at. I've had a few of them. Okay. Well, law enforcement can go back if they wanted to know what was on, on a certain camera system, for instance, or a certain, computer that I was working off of. All they have to do is go back, and get the IP address, at the time. They see who your provider was, and say that it was maybe, 2000, the year 2000. And they wanted to see, something on a camera system that I supposedly had, or a computer or even a phone. They just go back, find out who the provider of that address was. They get to your provider, find out the IP address at that time, and then see what was running off of it, right? See what you were running off of that IP address. And that gives them access to all the electronics you were running at the time. Because every electronic you run has a serial number that's going through. And, every last one of them. And they, and none of that stuff is lost. That's all in a data bank somewhere. Now, do they want to go through everything it takes to get it? That's the question. Do they really want to, if it's worth their while, if they think it's worth their while, oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. They can get it. They can get it. So, nothing's forever lost. Everything is on backup. Trust me. I mean, they've got the main, great big main, what runs all of this out here, they call it the beast, right? It's called the beast. That's actually what they call it. It's huge. It's called a beast. And trust me, everything is stored. I mean, like, you don't even know. You don't even know. Nothing is ever lost when it comes to the electronic world. No way. They take your IP address. They can tell you every type of device you were running. Every type of device you were running in your home that has anything to do with electronics. Computers, game machines, phones. It don't matter. Camera systems running off your Wi-Fi. Anything. It's all there, baby. And if they want it, they can get it. She had to have hid the cameras. She had to have hid them cameras. Absolutely. Because Chris didn't see none. Chris didn't see any, and she didn't mention any. Right? And like I said, I heard her talk about the Xbox being stolen before. But she didn't mention, she didn't mention buying cameras or having any type of cameras. I think that she was really tired that night. She wasn't thinking, and she just slipped up. She just slipped it all up. And, I don't know why we didn't catch it. I don't know why, because usually, man, I'd have been right on it. But that one went past my, it went over my head. Maybe I was tired too. I might have been tired too. And I don't know, like I said, I don't understand why this particular footage with Allie wasn't left out here. Somehow it just got somehow, I don't know, it just got, taken away somehow. I don't know why. I don't know if it was like, a members only live or what. I don't know why it got, shuffled away the way it did. And I can't explain why I was able to find it again. Like I said, the other night, I did a live. I really, usually when I get off these lives, I check to see if there's any other creators on. If it's someone who I support their channel, I try to drop in, say hello, and let them know, I'm there supporting them and that I care. I care about them and the chat and the mods and everything. And I just stop in to say hello and let them know I care. I don't say good night or anything because I don't want people thinking about how late it is and start leaving. I just go in and, say hello and God bless, much love to everybody. And I stay in there for just a little bit. Then I get out and I go to Facebook and I check to, see if anybody's leaving messages or if there's anything going on in Facebook. If people left messages or anything on any of the, stuff that I post, I always make sure that, I like it. I like it and let you guys know, I acknowledged it. I care. And I do that. Sometimes I address, I talk back to the person, sometimes I'll address and talk back to the people if they're asking something or, or if, some reason their comment, resonated with, how I'm feeling. And, or sometimes, you get one of those people going row on you, and I just block their ass. But, I always go in, check Facebook. And then, it's time to, at that point, it's time to, do some research that I need to do or make some pictures, of summer or other missing kids or put something together for them, or someone else. I spend time doing that. Like when I found out, Duty Ron needed prayers, I stopped and took time to make him a picture, and let people know to pray for him. These are the things I do. These are the things I put my time into to get, to do. And then usually, by that time it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I shut the computer down. I pick up, I usually at that time go through the house, see what the kids didn't turn off, right? What they did or did not turn off. I check on my kids, picking up as I go. And finally I hit my own bed, right? After I shower up and everything and get ready for bed myself. And I hit the bed myself. I get about 3 to 4 hours sleep before the alarm's going off. I'm telling myself I'm not going to, continue to do all the things I do, taking me so late in the middle of the night because I do need rest. And then I just do the same shit again because I don't ever learn, right? That's PG for you. That's me. So I keep doing it over and over, right? I keep doing it over and over. I don't learn, you guys. But that's okay. That's okay. I thank God. I thank God that I'm able to go as much as I'm able to go and do as much as I'm able to do, right? I thank God for all of that. All glory to the Lord. You can't do nothing God don't let you. But, then I get up, I do what I have to do at work, and then I'm making breakfast, lunch, and dinners, and I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes I feel like shit. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I feel like shit. Sometimes I look like shit. Right? I be burning the candle at both ends, and I know it. Don't think I don't know it, because I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, damn. I don't even want to look at you today. Right? Can't stand it. Can't stand looking at myself, you guys. I'm like, shit, oh, Lord. Right? What the hell happened to you, PG? I don't know. You don't even drink. Right? You don't even fucking drink. Look at you. Damn. I tell you, life can take a toll on you, baby. It can take a toll on you. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't know when I became my parent. I don't know when I became my stiff-legged, freaking cramped up feet mother or dad. I don't know which one had it. I don't know. Somebody did, because I got it now. And I hear that shit's hereditary. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you what. They must have had a lot of aches and pains, that I didn't know nothing about, because, and if that stuff's hereditary, I don't know if it is or not. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm finding out I got places I didn't even know I freaking had. Right? I'm like, what the hell is that? What the hell snapping and cracking? Jeez, I think I'm going to bust a move. I'm about to bust a fucking hip. Right? What the hell's going on here? I don't know. I used to run down the stairs. Right? Then I was hopping down the stairs. Now I'm mother freaking walking down the stairs, and I'm worried. I'm worried the next level is probably going to be crawl down the freaking stairs, right? I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I'm like, I'm concerned. I'm like, PG, it's time to be a little concerned. I don't think people's bodies supposed to be freaking cracking and snapping like this. What the hell is that anyway? I might have to see a doctor. I don't know. What the fuck? Yeah, second to none. I don't know. I'm like, shoot. Anyway, I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you another thing. I live in a big house. I live in a pretty good sized home. I'm not going to lie. It's creepy. It's creepy. But anyway, you know, um, what I'm saying is, I do live in a pretty good size place. And all my kids, they do run off early. They like to get to their rooms. They like to text their friends. They like to, or usually text. I don't think anybody really calls anybody anymore. But, and they play their game machines, they watch TV. I don't, I'm not sure all of what they do. They're my kids, but I'm not sure. But I know they be doing something, right? Um, Usually my three boys hang out all the time, and my daughter, she's just giving them hell. That's what she does. And anyway, they're off, couple floors up, hanging out. And I get off my lives, and like I said, sometimes it's 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I suddenly realize I'm the only person up, right? In this big place. I'd be hearing some creepy shit, right? I'd be hearing some creepy shit. No lie. I'd be like, damn, really? I promise you. Last night, I thought I heard an old lady talking. I went looking for the old lady. I couldn't find her. But I promise you, it was an old lady's voice. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm hearing some old lady. I'm looking for her. I'm looking for her because she kind of sounds like she needs help, right? Now, I don't know where the old lady is. I don't know where she went. I don't know because I didn't find her. But you know what? That shit had me laying in bed thinking about it. I'm like, shit, you know, wow. I didn't ever think I'd be laying in bed wondering where an old lady is, right? That should be keeping me awake at night too. I was like, whoa, I know it's trick and treat, but whoa, you know? Yeah, I really did. I heard that stuff. I heard it. I was looking for her, right? I was looking for her. I was like, where are you? Hell, looking for her. I think I was talking to her. I was tired as hell. I think I was actually, I don't know what it was, but I think I was talking to it. Like, where are you? I can hear you. Where are you at? You know? Then you go to your bed, right? Then you get to your bedroom. You get your shower and everything. You're in your PJs. You climb in bed. You turn on TV, right? You start thinking about that craziness. And you're like, where the hell was that voice coming from? Where the hell? I mean, it sounds like an old lady. Where's she at? Then you start thinking she might be under the bed, right? You're like, what the fuck? Why would I even think this? Why the hell am I thinking of some old lady might be under the damn bed? Right? I'm too old for this shit. Now I gotta climb out of my bed. I gotta look underneath it, right? I gotta look under there, make sure there ain't some old lady under there. I'm like, geez, you done losing it, PG. Yeah, lose my fucking mind up in here. I'm like, shit. I gotta go wake somebody's ass up. This shit's disturbing. I know what I heard. I was wide awake. And I don't know where the old lady is. I'm trying to find her. Thank God she wasn't in my shower, right? Or sitting on my toilet. I'm like, dang. Yeah, that's the kind of shit. That's the kind of shit PGB. I'm telling y'all. I don't know. I'm telling you, it was an old lady. She was like, she's making some weird noise, like, "Ah." I'm like, what the hell? Then all of a sudden she said something. I'm like, fuck, even my hearing's going bad, right? What the hell's going on? I couldn't even understand what she said. I was trying to catch what she said. I couldn't even understand what she said. I'm like, shit, my hearing's going bad. I'm like, can you say that again, old lady? I didn't hear it the first time. Right? Where are you at? I don't know. I I encountered a few weird things. I've encountered a few weird things, in this old place, but man, now I'm hearing old ladies. She got to go. I hear her tonight. If I hear her tonight, I'm gonna open the fucking door up. Tell her, this is the way out, man. You gotta leave. You can't have me in my bed wondering where your ass is. Right? I can't go to sleep thinking about that. That's crazy. Straight up. But anyway, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to this. You know. Yeah. You guys don't know. You don't know what PG goes through. You guys should come hang out with me sometime. You should hang out with me sometime. For real. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a fucking case. I'm a real case.
And I had my grandmother picked up, and we all met at the safe location and everything. And
Right.
then I met those two dudes at my front door. Me and Leslie did. Leslie Mountain heel to heel, toe to toe.
Hey, BM. BM said, just tell her to go to the light. Hey, girl, it was my ass trying to get to some light. It was my ass trying to get to some light, right? I was the one trying to get to somewhere lit up so I could see where the fuck she was. Right? I was trying to get to some light switches. I'm like, shit, I ain't time to tell her to go to the light. I was busy. Feet don't fail me now. Let me get some light, right? I'm like, oh hell. I wasn't worried about her getting in no light. I was worried about me getting in there. I'm like, shit, give me some light. I need to see this shit. That's what I get for trying to save on electric, right? Try to save on your fucking electric bill. You be hearing weird people talking and you can't even see their ass. Right? I ain't, I ain't trying to send nothing to the light but my own ass. That's what I was doing. I'm not gonna lie. Man, you're defenseless if you can't see it. Right?
She didn't care. He goes, I'm here for Hunter Mulaney to take him to his father's. And poor Leslie goes like this. And people want hell. People want ice. And people in hell want ice water too, don't
they? Is that what she said to him?
Yep. And then his little buddy was recording us. I said, here's a Tennessee howdy, you Georgia peach eating son of a bitch. Gave him my finger.
Oh, that is hilarious.
You ain't getting my kids without a fight.
That is funny. She told him that people in hell want some ice water. People in hell just want one drop of water and they can't get it. That's the truth. Just a drop. That's horrible. That's why we have to work extra hard to get to heaven, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. Thanks for that. Thanks for that story because that kind of made my night. It really did. I needed that. This, Summer's case is really, really. I'm not gonna lie, it's stressful. Very, very, very stressful. Not knowing where she's at, and I can just imagine for all of us how stressful it is for all of us, worrying about her and everything and wanting her home. I can only imagine what it's like for you.
It's crazy.
It's hard, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to tell you, Allie was going through a lot. She was going through a lot. She was put in a really tough situation, is what I believe. That's what I believe. That's my personal belief on all of this. Do I think she really had anything to do with what happened to Summer? No. Do I believe that she was forced into, covering things up and keeping her mouth shut? Yes. That's my opinion. Yes. I think she was put in a real bad situation. I think that real bad situation may have been what cost her her life. Right? I mean, Andrew said that Hunter had just robbed her, right? He robbed her $300, used it to get a tattoo, her rent money, right? Her rent money. And she was really upset. I mean, a lot of you are parents, right? A lot of you are parents. And a lot of you know, how you get angry, how you get upset when, your kid does something, that you do not approve of, right? You get upset. And, you say, if you don't get better grades, right? You don't get better grades, you're not going to get your allowance. If you don't pull your share, if you don't pull your share of weight, keeping your room clean and doing what you're supposed to, you're not going to get the things that you're asking for, right? Why should I reward bad behavior, right? So, you know how it is. Now I'm going to tell you, if your kid robbed you of $300 after you have covered up something that could have put them in prison forever, right? After you have covered up something as sinister as a 5-year-old child being destroyed, and it's dressed at your home and propped up on boxes of milk jugs you had nothing to do with, but now you have no control but to, keep your mouth shut because you truly believe that, your child was coached into doing something that shouldn't have been done. And your child could possibly be, locked away forever over some old ass people leading it to do something sinister. And your kid's is scared to death. What are you supposed to do? So you already got yourself in a bad way. Now the kid's stealing hundreds of dollars from you, like it's got something on you instead of you having something on it. Well, I think Allison probably said, I got a damn good mind to send your ass up the creek. I got a good mind to tell this dirty secret that shouldn't have ever been kept. And that may have been, you know, that may have been what put her in a coma, right? She might not have hit her head on something. Something might have hit her head, right? We don't know. We weren't there. But I find it mighty suspicious. Mighty suspicious. And I tell you, David is another guy that I talk to quite a bit too. Outside of this YouTube. He's another one that I correspond with. And David reminded me that Allison, hold on, let me go back here. That Allison came at sideways. Allison came at sideways by Hunter's girlfriend's mother. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember Hunter's girlfriend's mother coming and saying that Hunter told her daughter things and that she thought that Allison should go to law enforcement. Do you remember that? Do you remember that fight between Allison and Hunter's girlfriend's mother? When they had it out about something to do with Summer's case that was said to the girlfriend? Yeah. Exactly. 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 I'm going to tell you, there's a whole lot in all of this. A whole lot. Now, you know, don't get me wrong, you guys. I love Allison. I do. You know, I wish I could have been a friend to her before all of this stuff took place. I think she needed friends like us. I think she needed friends that would lead her on the good path, right? She needed people to guide her in a righteous path where it's a lot of fun, a lot of fun to meet people, cookouts, go to church. I think she just needed to be pulled to a righteous side and see how much fun it is, to be in the mix of Christian people instead of evil people, right? I think she just needed that. And we could have done that for her. We could have did that for her. She would have met plenty of good men, plenty of, people that were a lot of fun. Her kids would have had a lot of fun, right? They'd have been closer to God and meet, and had a lot in common with, with good kids instead of the bad kids. Kids are very vulnerable, and it's whichever side is tugging the hardest that, they'll go to. And most of the time, the good side ain't tugging that hard unless you introduce your children to that side. What I'm saying is, the righteous side, you know, you got to introduce the people to what side you want to pull them. I mean, they're going to be in a cesspool no matter what. You're going to find evil people everywhere. But if you know, that's why you pull people to church. That's why you go to church yourself and you pull people to the church, because the church has a lot of things that go on. I mean, they have, you know, camping, and they have a lot of field trips, and they have, you know, a lot of things, you know, things going on all the time that you can participate in, you know. And when your kids get in there and they get with the other Christian kids, you know, now that side's tugging on them, and that's the side they're going to be going with, and they'll stay out of the cesspool because that's the side they really want to be with anyway. It's the place where they're safe and they know it. Nobody's out to hurt nobody. They're just all out to have fun, you know, and these end up being lifelong friends, not well-weathered ones. And, you know, and I just felt that, you know, Allie would have went that way if someone would have pulled her that way, but she had no one pulling her that way. And I'm sorry, you know, that she didn't. I think she would have still been with us if she did. Right? She'd have still been with us. But, you know, hindsight's always better than foresight. That's the problem. But I'm going to tell you, Allie felt pressured to lie about the age of Hunter's girlfriend. Remember that? Put a 1 in the chat if you remember that. When she felt like she needed to lie about this girl's age that Hunter was, you know, corresponding with and still is. She also, you know, she was keeping back the fact that she was holding back, you know, the fact that Summer almost OD'd and they didn't call 911. They didn't call to get her any help, right? They didn't call to get any help, you know. So, you know, that's two things, right? Put a 2 in the chat if you remember that. If you remember, put a 1 in the chat if you remember her lying about, if you remember Allison lying about Hunter's girlfriend's age, put a 1 in the chat. Molly, you remember? Yes, I do too. I remember them trying to say that he's like 15, she's 14. No, she was like 12 and he was 15, right? She's supposedly like 12 years old at the time. Put a 2 in the chat if you remember. If you remember her talking about how Summer almost OD'd, right? True was telling about it, right? That Summer was brought to the house. Nobody calling 911, nobody doing nothing. They just waited for her to write it out. Nobody told. And, you know, and she was lying about Hunter's whereabouts. Put a 3 in the chat if you remember lying about Hunter's whereabouts between 2:30 and 6:30 on June 15, 2021. She said he was at a doctor's. He said that he was waiting for a probation officer. They were both lying. Both lying. Put a 3. Put a 3 if you know they were both lying. Yes, they was. You know, just see, this is people you can't trust. People you can't trust. You know? You can't trust them. Would would Candace and Grandis be able to carry Summer in that house, clean her up and redress her? Absolutely. Absolutely. Would they keep that kind of stuff shut up? Absolutely. That's my opinion. Absolutely. Also, also, um, and then, you know, put a 5 in the chat. Put a 5 in the chat if you heard Hunter talking about how making himself feel better. Making himself feel better about his mother's death by saying, well, and tell you the truth about it, she was supposed to pass away before now, but God gave her a second chance. I mean, really, she just wasn't supposed to be here anyway. Put a 5 if you remember him saying that. Yes, he did. Yes, he did say that. Right? Yes, he did. Making himself feel better. Why would he need to feel better about, his mother going out of this world? I mean, he acted like he didn't give a damn. She was supposed to already be gone. Right? I'm going to tell you something. I find it very suspicious that Allison and Leslie was living with Hunter. Oh, she just gets sick. I don't know. It might have been the big C word we were hearing. Might have been the big C word. She just got sick out of nowhere. A healthy woman, right? A healthy woman gets sick out of nowhere, and she falls, bumps her head, goes into a coma, and passes away and gets cremated. And then Allison, oh, well, she's got pneumonia. She had pneumonia. She fell. She smacked her head. She went into a coma. She passed away, and she got cremated. Do you guys find that suspicious? That these two ladies seem to go out of the world the same way, and both of them had one thing in common. It's called Hunter. Do you find that suspicious? Because I sure the hell do. I find that very suspicious. Just saying. Just saying. Right? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I find that suspicious, you guys. Yeah, that's right, Carrie. It was very quickly, right? Very quickly. Just saying, you know. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. It's just, I find all of this stuff suspicious. But we've been in here for a while. We've been in here for a while. PG's going to take a break from all of this tonight. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to, there's still more. There's still more to hear, you guys. There's a lot more. There's a lot more stuff. A lot more stuff that's just, that's really, that's out there. Now we know they were cameras, and now we know they weren't turned over, and now we know they had to be hidden. Now now we're learning a little bit more about June 15th, 2021, ain't we? A little bit more about some of the things we suspected. And now it's looking like we were right. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But you know what? We'll wrap it up here. Let everybody get some rest. And we're going to be back. We're going to be back. There's more footage of Allison. More footage of Allison, that we're going to be listening to. And like I said, there's some stuff with Fred Hill as well. And there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things going on right now, right? And Candace is, is I got some stuff, there's some shit with her too. So, PG, I have a question, please. What's your question, sweetie? Our bucket list has holes. What's your question, hon? I was waiting for a bucket. She had a question. I was trying to wait to see what it is. I heard that the live stream fees went up. And did yours? I'm gonna tell you, everything's going up, girl. Everything is going up. Um, I have it where it just automatically draws. But I'll check. I don't everything's going up though. I promise you. If it seems like wages go up, everything else goes up, right? And it don't just go up, like if the wages go up, the price of bread, the price of a loaf of bread don't go up just once. It goes up like 3 or 4 times. I mean, your wages didn't go up 3 or 4 times. It just went up one time. But I'm going to tell you why the bread went up 3 or 4 times. Because they assume that you have 2 or 3 people in your household working. So they want to make sure that they get all your all's extra money. We need to keep wages down. We need to, I don't want wages to go up. I want wages to go down and the prices of homes and food and everything else to go the hell down too. Let's go back. Let's go back instead of forward. Let's go back, right? Our bucket list has holes. I appreciate that. I hope this helps you out. Hey, girl, I really appreciate that. God bless. You're so kind. So kind. I really appreciate it. You don't know how much. But yeah, everything. It's like everything is, outrageous. Totally outrageous. I promise you. For one, I'm that person that pisses everybody off with the coupons, right? Because I try to save. You guys. And I'll tell you, if I catch a deal, like, something's on sale, right? Something's on sale. Like I caught, sometimes I'll catch, canned goods on sale or this or that on sale. And I promise you, people stare at me. They're like, she probably owns some kind of store or something because my cart's full of it. I got enough to last not only me, but the neighbors, right? Probably the neighbors, a couple years because I'm like, oh, I've seen this on sale. Oh my goodness. This is like prices way back. And, oh, I got to have some of this. And then I'm like, what the hell came over you, right? What the hell came over you, PG? Why the hell's your cart full of just one thing? You didn't even come to store for this. It's insane. I think I'm getting a deal, right? I don't know. It's like I have no idea. Me and one of my sons, went to the store this morning. And I know my daughter's like me. I know my daughter takes after me. I was very shocked to see my son take after me, right? I promise you, my son, he's as bad looking for sales as I am. I'm like, oh my goodness, this ain't good, right? Is this what I look like? I was watching him and I'm thinking, is this what I look like? But yeah, I don't know. Um, but everything, the cost of living, man, I'm going to tell you the cost of living, you can't afford to live anymore. Right? It's getting to where we can't afford to live. I don't know what we're going to do. Um, hopefully, hopefully things go down. I'm praying for it. I'm praying for it, y'all. Sometimes you think, if we'd have bought enough to last us till now, right? Before all this minimum wages went up, um, we'd be a lot better off, right? But it's kind of like during the C word. You wish you'd have bought a lot of toilet paper and paper towels, right? You wish you'd have had a whole room full because you couldn't get none. Um, Hindsight's always better than foresight, that's for sure. I appreciated our bucket list as hosts. I really do. God bless. But yeah, um, you know, we just got to do the best we can, you guys. We got to do the best we can um to make it each and every day, I'll tell you what, the best thing I can tell people is worry not. Worry not. I know that's hard to do. Sometimes PG worries too. Sometimes I worry. I'm not going to lie. But for the most part, I just try to trust in God. I try to trust in God because God said, I'll provide for you. I'll provide for you. And I trust in him. And I thank him. I thank him so much for everything he does for me and my family. I thank him for all he does for Summer, all these missing kids. And I thank him for everything he does for you all too. I really do. And don't think that, if I know how wonderful all of you guys are, then I know God sure knows even better than me how wonderful you are. So I don't worry. I really don't worry. But I'm going to tell you, we just got to do the best we can, right? We got to get up every day and we do the best we can. And just know that everything's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. What good would it have done me to worry today, right? This day's pretty much over and everything's been okay. Everything's been okay, and I thank God for that. But I'm going to tell you guys something. Before I go out of here, every night before I leave here, I always ask, please, please, please send those prayers up for Summer. Please send the prayers up for her because I know that God is listening. He's listening. God's always listening. Did you know that all of us have angels? And did you know that the Bible says that our angels report back to God? They report back to God, whether we've been good or we've been bad. Our angels report back to God. That is truly in the Bible. Your angels, you got an angel that's telling on you. So I'm going to tell you what, I like to make my angel happy, right? I like to make my angel happy. I like my angel to be able to report good stuff back. So I try to do as much good as I can, right? I try to do as much good as I can. And I'm going to tell you, if you got an angel that's reporting everything back to God, then you got an angel watching over you. So don't worry. Don't worry. No reason to worry at all. That angel ain't here just to report back to God. That angel's here to watch over you. So know that you're always safe as long as you have trust in God and know you're going to be. Faith is the key to everything. So keep faith and your trust in God and know that you're going to be all right, and you will be. Amen. But please keep those prayers going up. Keep them going up for Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Keep them going up for little Michael Vaughn. Keep them going up for Sebastian Rogers. Keep them going up for all of these children who are missing and all the ones getting justice right now, that they continue to get the justice they deserve against these monsters, these evil beings. And pray for the ones that are right now being abused, neglected, and possibly ready to be destroyed. Let us pray for them. Let us pray that God sends them help, that they don't end up like none of these other children, that they actually get the help they need in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Let's pray. Let's pray for all the children out there in this world who are going through so much. Let us pray for all of them. Amen. And pray for one another, you guys. Pray for one another. PG doesn't know what you need. I don't know what you want. But I do know God does. I know he does. No doubt in my mind, God knows what you want, what you're praying for. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to join with you tonight in your prayers. I'm going to join with you in your prayers, and I'm going to ask God, in the name of his son, Jesus Christ, please, Father, I don't know what they want. I don't know what they need. I don't know what they're praying for, God. But God, I pray in the name of Jesus Christ, you answer each and every one of their prayers. Amen. God bless. God bless you guys. God bless, and may God be with us all in the name of Jesus. Amen. Good night, everybody. Much, much love.